I want to discuss the three love languages of God. The three love languages of God. God have love languages. Amazing. Just as you have love languages, so God have love languages. And the interesting part is that if you have a spouse, or you are in a relationship with a person, you want that person to speak your love languages. You want that person to give you what you wanted. And if the other person is not speaking your love language, you will not be happy. You will not be fulfilled in that relationship. So it is with God. If you are not speaking the love languages of God, God may not be happy with you. God may not be pleased with you. So God have love languages. So what are the three love languages of God? Number one, obedience. Obedience, very important. In John chapter 14, verse 15, Jesus says, if you love me, you will obey my commandment. If you love me, you will obey my commandment. So God wants you to obey him. It shows love. It shows the level of love that you have for God if you obey him. So I want to encourage you to henceforth obey God. Whatsoever God is telling you to do, then it is better to do that thing. If he's saying go, then you're going to go. When God told Abraham to leave his country to another place, Abraham obeyed. Abraham obeyed God. So this together with other things made Abraham to be a righteous man before God. You want God to accept you, then you need to obey him. Number two, sacrifice. Sacrifice. Another love language of God is sacrifice. In Romans chapter 12, verse 1, it says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of God, that you present your bodies, that you present yourself a living sacrifice, dedicated and pleasing to God. So, you want to live a dedicated life, then you must sacrifice yourself. God wants us to sacrifice ourselves. God wants us to sacrifice our all for him. What does it mean to sacrifice for God? It means to live out ourselves, to be sold out for God, to be on a mission for him, to know or to acknowledge God as our God, and to sacrifice, to live ourselves for him, to dedicate our time, to dedicate our resources, our money, our family, our relationship, to dedicate all to God. So in other words, God wants to be the first in our lives. God wants to be the first in that business. He wants to be the first in that ministry. We want to have all of our time. We want to have all of our resources. We want to have all of us. That is what it means to sacrifice to God. The third love language of God is faith. Faith. Hebrews 11 verse 6 says, it is impossible to please God without faith. It is impossible to please God without faith. This is amazing, and a lot of people don't know that faith is one of the criteria that will make God to accept them. If you have a working faith, a solid faith in God, then you have been accepted by God already. So I want to ask you, how much of faith do you have in God? So if you want God to be pleased with you, then you must walk with God by faith. It is by faith that we know and we acknowledge that He is God and He is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him by faith. Now, when God told Abraham to leave his father's country, he left instantly, even when he doesn't know where he was going. He left instantly for the country he doesn't know anything about. That is faith, and you ought to emulate the same. You ought to move with God by faith. So the love languages of God: number one, obedience. You obey God, you live in obedience day and night. Number two is sacrifice. You sacrifice, you live, you dedicate your all to God, your finances, your money, your relationship, your life, which is important. You dedicate everything to God. And the last one is faith. You move and walk by faith. The Bible says, for we will walk by faith and not by sight. So these are the three love languages of God. Which other one do you know? Let me see in the comment section. And if you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, this is an avenue to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can see my subsequent videos as soon as I posted them. See you in my next video.